Welcome to INN's Advocate. INN's Advocate is a platform for lawyers having less than 5 years of practice. Today we have with us Advocate Palak Manish Joshi. She graduated her BLS LLB from KES Sri Jayantilal H. Patel College of Law in the year 2024. Her areas of practice are civil laws. Today Advocate Palak is going to speak on the POCSO Act. So without wasting further time, I would request Advocate Palak to commence with her lecture. Thank you.
Imagine a child being afraid after being hurt. How do we protect them? How do we make sure that they get justice? Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to talk about POCSO Act, a special law that is made for child abuse. The POCSO Act stands for the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. Before 2012, there was no specific law that in India to deal with child abuse. Such crimes were handled under the IPC, which were not fully suitable for sensitivity and for seriousness of offences involving children, which were not fully suitable for the sensitivity and seriousness of offence involving children. Many cases went unreported and justice was delayed or denied. The POCSO Act was introduced to change this. It aims to protect any children under the age of 18 from sexual offences and ensure a child-friendly legal process for reporting, investigation and trial. This law not only punishes the offender but also puts the child's safety and dignity at the center of the justice process. Now let's understand some of the important terms under this act. First, as mentioned, a child under this law is anyone below 18 years. Now let's understand some of the important terms under this act. First, as mentioned, a child under this law is anyone below 18 years of age. The law defines various forms of sexual abuse. Sexual abuse refers to any unwanted touching of the child's body in sexual way. Penetrative sexual assault involves penetration of any kind, even if it's slight. If the offence is committed by someone in a position of authority, like a police officer, a teacher, or a doctor, it is called aggravated sexual assault, and the punishment is more serious. Sexual harassment includes acts like showing private parts, speaking in a sexually inappropriate way, touching or even staring in a sexual intent. Another critical part is ban of child pornography, which includes any image, video or digital content that sexually exploits children. One important thing to remember that a child's consent doesn't matter under this law. Even if the child agrees, it is still a crime. Let us now look at some key sections of this act. Section 3 defines penetrative sexual assault. Section 4 provides the punishment, which is at least 10 years in jail or it is life imprisonment. Section 5 and 6 deals with aggravated penetrative assault and its punishments can also go up to life imprisonment. Section 7 defines sexual assault without penetration and Section 8 provides punishment of 5 to 7 years. Section 9 and 10 with aggravated sexual assault and its punishment. Section 11 deals with the sexual harassment. A very important part of law is Section 19, which makes it mandatory for anyone, even a friend or a teacher, to report a crime if they know about it. If someone fails to report, they can be punished too. The Act also includes Section 33 to 38, which guide courts to follow child-friendly trials like in-camera trial and avoiding direct contact between the child and the accused. Some unique and thoughtful features make POCSO a strong law. First, it is a gender neutral, meaning it protects both boys and girls. Many people wrongly assume only girls are protected. Some unique and thoughtful feature make POCSO a strong law. First, it is a gender neutral law, meaning it protects both boys and girls. Many people wrongly assume only girls are protected. The law makes sure that this entire process is child sensitive. For example, a child's statement should be taken in a safe place, preferably at home or in a child friendly room, and usually by a female police officer. During the trial, the court can allow the child to testify via video or behind a screen so they don't have a face to face with the accused. Also, the trial must be completed within a year so that justice is not delayed. These features help in reducing trauma for child during the process. Let us now talk about some common misconceptions around POCSO. A lot of people wrongly believe that only girls can be victim. As we talked earlier, that is not true. The law clearly protects all children regardless of gender. Another myth is that if the child gives consent, it is not abuse. Legally, children below 18 cannot give a valid consent for sexual acts. Even if they agree, it is still a crime. Some also think that only rape or intercourse is punishable under POCSO. Again, this is false. Even inappropriate touching, sexual talks, showing obscene materials, or sending explicit messages is punishable under this law. Now, what about real or fake cases? Most under POCSO are genuine. For instance, in one real case, a school principal was convicted for touching student inappropriately during extra classes. The child's statement alone was enough to convict the crime. The child's statement alone was enough to prove the crime. However, in rare cases, the law has been misused. In one case, a boy was falsely accused by his neighbor's parents during a property dispute. The court later found that the case was filed out of revenge, and the boy was declared innocent. The courts now take false cases seriously and can punish those who file fake complaints. But we must always remember, false cases are the exception and not rule. A powerful example of the complexities around POCSO cases can be seen in the Netflix film Court State vs. Nobody, which portrays how a single allegation can shake lives and how justice system navigates thin line between protection and misuse of the law. Landmark judgments have played crucial role in shaping the legal landscape under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act. In Satish Regde versus State of Maharashtra, the Bombay High Court ruled that an act of groping a minor without skin-to-skin contact did not amount to sexual assault under Section 7 of the Act. This interpretation attracted widespread criticism for diluting the protection scope of the POCSO. Recognizing the serious implications of such a narrow interpretation, the Supreme Court later stayed and overruled the decision, affirming that the essence of the sexual assault lies in the intent and not the act, not merely in the form of physical contact. Another important case of Alok Shrivastava versus Union of India, where the Supreme Court, while hearing a public interest litigation, issued directions for the establishment of exclusive POCSO courts in every district to ensure swift and child-sensitive adjudication of the offence. The court emphasized the importance of in-camera trials, appointment of special public prosecutors, and creation of child-friendly environments. These judgments underscore the judiciary's proactive role in ensuring the POCSO Act serves its intended purpose of protecting children from sexual offences through both substantive interpretation and procedural safeguards. If a child in a distress or needs help, immediate assistance can be brought through helplines. The Child Line 1098 is a 24/7 toll-free emergency phone service for children in need of care and protection, supported by the Ministry of Women and Children Development. Additionally, the National Commission of Protection of Child Rights (NCPCR) can be reached via their online complaint portal or through their helplines. Awareness of such resources is essential to ensure timely and intervention and protection. Awareness of such resources is essential to ensure timely intervention and protection. In my opinion, the POCSO Act is a landmark piece of legislation that needs to be interpreted with a child-centric approach. Courts must avoid technicalities that weakens the protection intended for vulnerable children. Speedy trials, child-friendly procedures, and widespread awareness are crucial for the success of this act. I believe society as a whole must remain vigilant to ensure justice for every child. Strong judicial interpretation can reaffirm children's rights and rebuild their trust in the legal system. In my opinion, the POCSO Act is a landmark piece of legislation that needs to be interpreted with a child-centric approach. Courts must avoid technicalities that weaken the protection intended for the vulnerable children. Speedy trials, child-friendly procedures, and the widespread awareness are crucial for the success of this act. I believe society as a whole must be vigilant to ensure justice for every child. Strong judicial interpretation can reaffirm children's right and rebuild their trust in the legal system. To conclude, if we stay silent, the abuse wins. If we speak up, the child gets protected. Each of us, whether a teacher, parent, or friend, or a neighbor, can be the reason child is saved. Let us be their voices and let us support them. Thank you.
Palak, thank you very much for giving a nice overview of the POCSO Act. A small token from Hammurabi to you.
Thank you so much for having me.